There comes a time in life when we start to ask different questions, ones that aren't about the rush of youth or the climb of ambition, but about the quality of the days we have, the richness of our experiences, and the warmth of our connections. One of those questions, often whispered in private or pushed aside in uncertainty, is about intimacy. How often should a senior have sex? It's a question wrapped in science, emotion, and personal truth. Sexuality does not have an expiration date. The body may change, the pace may slow, but the need for closeness, for touch, for feeling desired and connected, that remains. Whether it's holding hands, a lingering embrace, or a night of passion, intimacy in later years is as meaningful as ever. And yet, many hesitate to discuss it. Society, misconceptions, even our own self-perception may whisper that aging and intimacy do not belong together. But research and experience say otherwise. Sexual activity in later life isn't just about physical pleasure, it is an integral part of emotional well-being. It has been shown to enhance longevity, sharpen cognitive function, and even improve heart health. More importantly, it fosters companionship, reminding us that love and affection are not reserved for the young. The notion that one should retire from intimacy is a myth that has deprived many of the joy they still deserve. So, how often should a senior have sex? The answer isn't one size fits all, but by the end of this discussion, you'll have the knowledge to decide what's right for you. If you're enjoying this conversation, take a moment to like and subscribe. Now, let's dive into the research and wisdom that can guide us through this question. When it comes to intimacy, many seniors find themselves asking, am I normal? Is it okay to still desire this? The answer is an emphatic yes. Research doesn't just suggest, it confirms that many older adults remain sexually active well into their later years. Let's look at the numbers. A study published in the New England Journal of Medicine found that among individuals aged 75 to 85, more than half of those who had partners were still engaging in sexual activity. Another major study revealed that for those between 60 and 69, nearly 86% of men and 60% of women reported being sexually active. Even among those over 70, a significant portion continued to enjoy intimacy. Of course, frequency varies. Some seniors report having sex once a week, while others engage in intimacy 2 to 3 times per month. In one survey of Americans aged 75 to 85, about 23% reported having sex once a week or more. These numbers make one thing clear. Aging does not signal an end to passion. It simply means that intimacy may look a little different, shaped by health, relationships, and personal comfort. There is a natural decline in sexual activity with age, but not because of a lack of interest. Often it's due to external factors, health issues, the loss of a spouse, or even cultural stigma. The desire for intimacy remains, and in many cases it grows even deeper. What matters is not how often others are having sex, but whether you are satisfied with your own level of intimacy. Now that we've seen the data, let's talk about what influences these numbers. Sexual activity in later life is not just about desire. It's influenced by a web of interconnected factors. Some of these are physical, some emotional, and others are deeply tied to relationships and societal perceptions. Understanding these influences helps seniors make informed decisions about their own intimacy, free from unnecessary guilt or pressure. One of the biggest factors is health. The body is the foundation of intimacy, and when it faces challenges, such as chronic conditions like diabetes, arthritis, or heart disease, sexual activity can become less frequent. For instance, cardiovascular issues may affect stamina, while medications for high blood pressure or depression can lower libido. However, these are not insurmountable barriers. Adjustments in lifestyle, treatment, and open conversations with healthcare providers can make a world of difference. Then there's the emotional and relational aspect. A senior in a happy, affectionate relationship is far more likely to engage in regular intimacy than one experiencing emotional distance. Communication is key. Partners who discuss their needs and expectations tend to have healthier, more satisfying sex lives. Studies show that emotional connection often becomes more important than physical performance with age, and intimacy takes on new forms beyond just intercourse. Hormones also play their part. Testosterone levels in men naturally decline, which can affect libido. For women, menopause brings changes that may cause discomfort, such as vaginal dryness. However, medical solutions such as hormone therapy, lubricants, and even simple lifestyle adjustments can greatly improve comfort and desire. Lastly, societal and psychological influences shape how often seniors engage in intimacy. Many older adults grew up in times when talking about sex was taboo, leading to hesitancy in addressing their own needs. There's also a damaging myth that aging equals asexuality. These outdated beliefs often cause seniors to suppress their desires, even when their bodies and hearts are still yearning for connection. With all these factors at play, it's clear that sexual activity in later life isn't a matter of should or shouldn't. It's a deeply personal decision influenced by health, relationships, and mindset. And when these elements align, the benefits are immense. Next, let's explore those benefits in more detail. Sex isn't just about pleasure, it's a powerful force for health and well-being. Science confirms what many seniors already feel. Maintaining an active sex life can improve physical, mental, and emotional health in ways that go far beyond the bedroom. Let's start with mental well-being. Studies have shown that sexual activity stimulates the brain, reducing stress and enhancing overall mood. When seniors engage in intimacy, their bodies release endorphins and oxytocin, often called the feel-good hormones. These chemicals reduce anxiety, promote relaxation, and strengthen emotional bonds between partners. In fact, research from the University of Coventry found that seniors who were sexually active scored higher on cognitive tests, showing better memory and problem-solving skills than those who were not. Beyond the mind, sex also strengthens the body. Regular sexual activity has been linked to improved cardiovascular health. It gets the heart pumping, much like light exercise. A study published in the American Journal of Cardiology found that men who had sex at least twice a week had a significantly lower risk of heart disease compared to those who were less active. Additionally, the physical movement involved in sex helps maintain flexibility, balance, and muscle tone, all of which are crucial for aging well. Sex also supports the immune system. Research suggests that older adults who engage in regular intimacy produce more immunoglobulin A, IgA, an antibody that helps defend against illnesses. This means a healthy sex life might actually help seniors fight off colds and infections more effectively. Beyond physical health, intimacy strengthens relationships. A satisfying sex life fosters closeness, builds trust, and deepens emotional connections. Seniors who maintain intimacy often report higher levels of relationship satisfaction, which in turn contributes to overall happiness and life satisfaction. Ultimately, sex isn't just about passion, it's about health, vitality, and emotional well-being. And while the frequency of intimacy varies from person to person, the benefits remain undeniable. So how often should seniors have sex to reap these rewards? Let's explore expert-backed recommendations. How often should a senior have sex? That's the golden question. And while no single answer applies to everyone, research provides valuable insights into what frequency yields the greatest health and emotional benefits. One of the most well-supported findings comes from a study published in the Archives of Sexual Behavior, which suggests that having sex at least once per week is linked to the highest levels of happiness and life satisfaction among older adults. Other studies reinforce this, showing that those who maintain intimacy on a weekly basis often experience better cardiovascular health, stronger cognitive function, and greater emotional well-being. For those aged 62 to 74, research indicates that quality matters just as much as quantity. Regular, satisfying sexual encounters, whether once a week or a few times a month, are linked to improved memory, sharper thinking, and lower risks of depression. Interestingly, for seniors over 75, even having sex just once a week has been associated with better mental clarity and overall happiness. But what if once a week isn't realistic? The key takeaway from experts is this: sexual activity should be based on personal comfort, health, and relationship dynamics. Seniors should focus less on keeping up with an arbitrary number and more on what feels right for them. For some, intimacy might come in different forms: holding hands, cuddling, kissing, or simply sharing deep emotional moments. These forms of connection can be just as powerful as intercourse in fostering well-being. Ultimately, the right frequency is the one that maintains happiness, physical ease, and emotional closeness. And for those wondering how to optimize their sex life despite health challenges or aging-related changes, medical professionals can offer guidance, from hormone therapy to alternative intimacy strategies. While recommendations are helpful, they are just a guide. What matters most is that seniors feel fulfilled, comfortable, and confident in their personal intimacy choices. Of course, many face challenges in maintaining an active sex life. Let's now explore the common barriers and misconceptions that might be standing in the way. Despite the many benefits of intimacy in later life, countless seniors face obstacles, some physical, some emotional, and others imposed by society. These barriers often lead to frustration, insecurity, or even a complete withdrawal from intimacy. But the truth is, most of these challenges can be managed, overcome, or redefined with the right mindset and approach. One of the most significant barriers is physical health. Chronic conditions like arthritis, heart disease, and diabetes can make sexual activity more difficult. Pain, fatigue, or medication side effects, such as reduced libido or erectile dysfunction, may cause seniors to assume that intimacy is no longer possible. However, modern medicine offers solutions. Adjusting medications, trying new positions, or engaging in alternative forms of intimacy can help maintain a fulfilling sex life. Then there's the emotional and psychological barrier. Many seniors have internalized the false idea that aging means the end of passion. This couldn't be further from the truth. The idea that seniors shouldn't be interested in sex is a harmful myth, one that discourages older adults from embracing their natural desires. Studies show that those who remain sexually active later in life often feel more youthful, confident, and emotionally fulfilled. Another major challenge is societal perception and lack of open conversations. Many seniors feel uncomfortable discussing their sexual health with doctors, partners, or even themselves. This silence leads to untreated sexual dysfunction, unmet emotional needs, and unnecessary loneliness. Healthcare providers should be more proactive in addressing senior sexuality, and seniors themselves should feel empowered to ask questions and seek solutions. Lastly, environmental barriers play a role, especially for those in assisted living or nursing homes where privacy is limited. Many facilities fail to recognize the importance of intimacy for older residents, creating an environment where seniors feel embarrassed or discouraged from expressing their sexuality. This needs to change. The biggest takeaway? Aging does not mean the end of intimacy. It means adapting, communicating, and embracing a new chapter of connection. The path to a healthy sex life in later years isn't about avoiding challenges. It's about finding ways to work through them. Now let's bring everything together and reflect on the bigger picture. Sexuality is not something that disappears with age. It evolves. It shifts from the fiery intensity of youth to something deeper, richer, and often more meaningful. Seniors who embrace their changing intimacy needs rather than resisting them find that love, connection, and passion remain lifelong gifts. The research is clear. Maintaining a healthy sex life in whatever form that takes contributes to mental clarity, emotional well-being, and physical health. Intimacy fosters companionship, strengthens relationships, and enhances overall quality of life. The key is finding what works for you, whether that means regular intercourse, affectionate touch, or simply deep emotional bonding. There is no universal answer to how often a senior should have sex. The right frequency is whatever brings joy, comfort, and connection in a way that fits one's personal health and relationship dynamics. For some, that may be once a week. For others, it might mean a slower, more intimate kind of closeness that doesn't rely on physical performance alone. One thing is certain: desire and affection are ageless. They do not diminish with time, they transform. And for those willing to nurture their intimate lives, the later years can be just as fulfilling, if not more so, than any time before. So, whether you are rekindling a long-term partnership, navigating intimacy after loss, or simply exploring what feels right for you, know that love and connection are always within reach. Age does not define passion. The heart does.